Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
Following a bold move made by the Rebel 7, Dr. Hubert Minnis has these words from Ms. Loretta Butler Turner. That story is coming up straight ahead.
The Long Island MP responds to her candidacy being revoked by the FNM. That story straight ahead.
DNA leader Branville McCartney says the FNM is in a very precarious position. We've got the details straight ahead on our news.
Doctors speak out on sensationalism surrounding the rollout of national health insurance. And your cable viewing experience is about to change. We'll tell you what you need to know. Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Christina McNeil. Topping news tonight, following a bold move made by 7 Free National Movement MPs to replace party leader Dr. Hubert Minnis as the leader of the opposition, the party last night took strong action against the new leader of the opposition, Loretta Butler Turner. Our Giorgio Bain was there and filed this report.
Just about 1 week after assembling a group now known as the Rebel 7 and becoming the first female leader of opposition in the House of Assembly, leader of the Free National Movement, Dr. Hubert Minnis, had these words from Ms. Loretta Butler Turner at Wednesday's rally.
The ratified candidate for Long Island had that ratification rescinded.
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
And with that announcement, Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner's nomination for the next general election was rescinded. The announcement, which comes 3 months after she was confirmed to run again on the FNM's ticket, was met with cheers from the crowd outside FNM headquarters. However, some question where this leaves the new leader of opposition now. Minnis told rally supporters they did not deserve what the Rebel 7 did to them last week.
You did not deserve it. Didn't we all endure their public criticisms? It seems like almost every week we were being publicly attacked by one of our own.
The party ratified one candidate last night, former Olympian Iram Lewis, who will be running in Central Grand Bahama. Minnis told supporters that the FNM must now remain focused on winning the upcoming election.
Do you think we have time to be fooling around with those outgoing MPs? When our people are dying on the streets, losing jobs, losing their homes?
Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Well, less than 24 hours after it was revealed her nomination was rescinded, Butler Turner reacted, saying while the decision was sad and unfortunate, it came as no surprise, as she feels she and the 6 other MPs have been painted as villains by some in the party. Our Jasmine Brown spoke with the Long Island MP and has this report. Jasmine?
That's right, Christina. Butler Turner says she wasn't caught off guard considering all that's happened in the last few weeks.
This revocation comes as no surprise. When there was a council meeting last Monday night, the whole cry throughout was they were going to expel all 7 of us from the party. That came from those who were giving the directives. Not until they received counsel on our Constitution did they realize it doesn't happen like that.
Butler Turner adds that she feels she and the other 6 MPs who penned the letter to the Governor General have been demonized by some in the party.
What the FNM is doing to all 7 of us is creating us as being the enemy. In my estimation, that's fine if that's the internal battle we're going to continue to battle with and be divided by a leader that is not for unification. My battle is not with the FNM. The FNM has a battle with 7 upstanding individuals that exercised their democratic right and upheld by the Constitution of the Bahamas and the parliamentary system. So if that's the road the FNM wants to go down, I'm not going to stop them.
The Long Island MP says while Minnis made those comments last night, she was not formally notified of the decision to rescind her nomination. As for whether she plans on running as an independent or on another political party's ticket, Butler Turner says she hasn't made a decision.
I certainly haven't gotten to the point as to what, and how, on what ticket I'll be running on. Who knows? We'll see.
But she did say whatever grouping she represents, she would be happy to get rid of the PLP. As for whether she plans on speaking with Minnis on the issue, Butler Turner says they aren't exactly on speaking terms.
After I realized that I didn't have an ally in Dr. Minnis, I've always been of the opinion that, we're a team. It doesn't matter if we're allies or not. Maybe not allies, friends. It doesn't matter if we're friends or not. We should at least act as a team. I don't think that Dr. Minnis has any interest in talking to me.
Now Butler Turner says despite all that's happened, she and the other 6 MPs will continue on with their agenda. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Jasmine. Well, Democratic National Alliance leader Granville McCartney suggesting those 7 MPs would be welcome in the DNA if they decide to make that step. Although he stressed no formal discussions are underway, McCartney, in an interview with Our News Today, didn't dismiss the possibility. Dana Smith reports.
Last night's move to rescind Butler Turner's Long Island nomination came as no surprise to many, but the question remains what her and those 6 other dissenting F&M MPs' next step will be. Butler Turner's decision to appoint McCartney as leader of opposition business in the Senate fueled theories that some of the MPs are making plans to run on a DNA ticket.
That's something that will have to be considered at the time, but that time is not here. They are still within the F&M.
But the MPs have been threatened with expulsion and do not have nominations for the next general election. Asked if any talks are in the works, McCartney dismissed that as speculation.
Been no discussions with regards to them joining the DNA. There's been no discussions of any type of coalition in that regard.
He noted, however, the DNA has a big tent.
The DNA welcomes persons, whether you are independents, whether you are PLPs, whether you are F&Ms.
Minnis insisted last night, despite the long-standing internal issues that have been plaguing the F&M, the party remains resolute. McCartney, however, said he can't agree.
McCartney said rather than a party unshaken, the F&M is scattered, and he questioned if Minnis realizes that he and his party are in a very precarious position.
The F&M is what? Unshaken? When you have 80% of your parliamentary team say that they have no confidence in you, let me break it down like this. When you only have 2 out of 9 persons who have confidence in you, that ought to tell you something. The F&M is more than shaken. They're scattered.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Dana Smith.
In other news, President of the Bahamas Doctors Union, Dr. Charles Arthur Clark, says much of the drama surrounding national health insurance is due largely in part to the health scheme being sensationalized in the media.
I think sometimes the information that we see in the media is a bit of sometimes it causes a bit of sensationalism, and is actually appealing to fear-mongering. And actually causing people to actually see things in a somewhat jaded view.
Clark's comments come after the National Health Insurance Secretariat announced on Wednesday that the second phase of NHI will be launched next month. The January 2017 introduction comes nearly 9 months behind its original April 2016 implementation date. Officials say that this phase of NHI will involve the enrollment of primary health care providers who officials claim are warming up to NHI. Clark also criticized some of the recent comments made by his fellow healthcare professionals.
Quite a bit of those persons, in fact, to me, none of those persons were primary care providers. All of them are specialists, okay? I find it interesting that one of them said that he's barely able to make ends meet. That same person has actually declared that somewhere else that he has an asset of millions of dollars. So I find that very interesting.
Still to come on our news, plans to change the energy sector after the next general election. It's week 15 of the National Football League, and your cable guide looks a little different tonight. We'll tell you why. That's coming up when our news returns.